My dear child, anxiousness will never change anything, but instead of being anxious, if you start believing your situation will change. When you look into the life of Daniel, when he has thrown into the lion's den, he did not worry or anxious about his situation, but instead he started to pray and believe that I will protect him. So when you look into the life of Joseph, he was blamed and was punished from accusations that he did not do. So he was sentenced to jail, and that could become a great trouble for him. So even in the midst of that situation, he did not worry or anxious about his situation. Instead, he started to pray and also believed in me. When Elijah saw the chariot brook gradually drying, instead of being anxious, he started to pray about it and believed that I would provide what he needed. So, like that, when you look into the life of Esther, Moses, and David, they all had certain situations happen in their life that might have made them worried or tensed. But instead of worrying or being anxious, they all started to pray about their situation and believed in me. So through their faith, I have blessed them and made them as the blessing and given a lot of blessings which they never expected. So even in your life, you might be going through some situation that is making you anxious about certain things. But instead of worrying or being anxious, start praying about it and start believing in me. So the situation may last for a long time, but if you hold your faith strongly and pray about it. So I will give you the greatest testimony which no one ever thought would happen in your life. So you know that I have a plan for everything, a plan to prosper you and to bless you. So instead of worrying or being anxious about the situation, start praying about it and also hold your faith strongly in me. So my child, know that. Struggling with the thought process, maybe this is not the time for you to think of this situation in this way. So please guard yourself from being impulsive at this point. Yes, I can see a lot of emotion for this, but there is more for you to achieve. So keep these emotions, they are not unhealthy. Just don't act on it right now. You are being asked to protect something. So protect this connection. Don't ruin it based on whatever happened to you. Hold on and don't rush into decision making, as your mind will push you to do so. So your inner knowing is telling you to pursue your biggest desire. At this point, march forward without fear. March forward, my loves. So at this point, if you feel like taking some healthy risk, then do it. You will not fall. The universe is opening it for you so that you get there. There is happiness and peace that is coming your way. You just need to learn to detach yourself time and again because something in your life needs your attention and happiness. This is a path of spiritual growth, and the more you are in your mind, the more difficult it will become, the more you embrace your personal growth. The more closer you will get to this, life is only moving towards the better provided you allow it and take its natural pace. So, my child, know that God wants you to give Him your whole heart today, and when you do, He is coming to fill your wish Himself afresh. So, He has a totally different direction for you. Remember that He has a good hope and a glorious future awaiting you. So, He is redeeming your past and setting you on track today. He has the most excitement, excellent way mapped out for you. So, if you have sin that is troubling you, confess it, lean into His heart, and let the breath of heaven breathe life into you. So, He is ready to set you on the pathway of light and life created especially for you. So, you must forget the former things and stop dwelling on the past, for God said that He is doing something new. So even now it sprouts up and mature. Don't you perceive it? He says to you, I will make a way in the wilderness of your heart and open up flowing streams in the desert of your thinking. If He did it before, He will do it again. The same God who brought you through previous season of difficulty and uncertainty is more than able to do it again. So, no, it may be tough to keep on pressing, but press on anyhow. Don't be intimidated because if God told you to go forward. So, there is a blessing on the other side. Step out in faith, refuse to turn around, expect God to reveal His power in your life. So, if He healed you before, He will do it again. If He delivered you back then, He will do it here and now, and there is nothing too hard for Him. God still works miracles. So, my child, know that this life that you are not satisfied with will tire you one day. It is just a matter of time when you completely give up because one day you will. So, when you live a life that does not excite you or makes you happy or dances on the rhythm of your heart desire, so then life starts to feel heavy, tough, and a lot more challenging than it actually is, and when you continuously do something that you don't like. So, whether it is your job, staying in a wrong relationship, eating the food that you don't to be eating, it is then life feels like a constant struggle. So, do you know why? Because you know this is not the life you want to live. You know you can make the other choice. You know you can turn left and choose to walk on the path that feels connected to you. So, though ignoring your inner voice, you go on living, struggling on a daily basis in a hope that life will change someday. But the truth is, life would not change until you give up on this life. It is powerful to give up on things that tire you and choose to do the things that makes you happy. So it will be hard at first because it is going to be scary, but as you keep making the choices that align with your inner voice, you will eventually live a life that makes you happy every day. Waking up in the morning would be exciting and going to work would be fun. Knitting will be new cool and walking in the park will be a new style. So it is just about when life tires you so much so that you give up, because it is only after giving up the magic begins. So my child, know that. Will you let go and trust me? Will you let go and give me the pen and the paintbrush? With the pen in my hand, I will draw the next blueprint of your coming future. So I put you in the right place at the right time with the right people in such a providential way. You will know it's my hidden hand. So with the paintbrush, I will create beautiful strokes over past paints and blotches with colors you have not yet seen in your life. Will you let go of what you are clinging so tightly to and hand it to me? It is safest in my hands. So I have always been a carpenter and I am coming as a carpenter and builder in your life. So I'm knocking down old walls to make new rooms. I'm renovating to make better changes, and I'm remolding rooms in your heart that have been cluttered. I am repairing, rebuilding, and rearranging and decluttering. I am making my bride ready, and it is spring cleaning time. So, will you let go and trust me? It is not time to hoard and hide, but arise and shine. Will you let go of the old and not look back? So, no one immediately loves change and wants a makeover when the old seem to work so well. So, I love you too much to let you stay stagnant, says the Lord. It's time to get in the fresh flow of my Holy Spirit. Let me build your life again. So let me write the plan, paint with the new colors, let go. Your life and future is safest in my hands. He also told them a parable. No one tears a piece of cloth from a new garment and sews it on an old one. If he does, he will tear the new garment as well, and the patch from the new will not match the old. And no one pours new wine into old wineskins. If he does, the new wine will burst the skin, the wine will spill, and the wineskins will be ruined. So instead, a new wine is poured into new wineskins, and no one after drinking old wine wants new, for he says the old is better. So, my child, know that you don't need to have it all figured out. You don't need to have all of the answer. Life is not meant to be figured out. Life is meant to be lived. Life is meant to be surprise you, excite you, confuse you, teach you, and if you had it all figured out, there would be nothing more to learn. If you had it all figured out, there is no need to grow. Life is meant to be loved. It is meant to be enjoyed in its fullness and beauty and the full range of emotion that encompasses. My beautiful child, stop trying so hard to have it figured out. Stop missing out on beautiful moments because you are so focused on wanting to understand. So know that there will always be question and that is okay. There are days of question and days of answer, and most of the time every day holds both. So my child, know that. There will be days that you fall short, there will be days that you are knock off balance and you just can't find your footing again. So there will be days that you cannot do all the things you hope to do. There will be days that you lose your patience. There will be days that you are not as loving as you hope to be. My beautiful friend, it is okay if this day did not go as you hope it would. It is okay if you were not who you would like to be today, because on these days still there is love. So there is forgiveness, there are still beautiful moments, and my beautiful friend, there is a new day on its way, a day to try again. Sometimes the clouds stay out to remind us how good the warmth of the sun feels, and the best part, the sun always returns. So, my child, know that. We have been taught from such a young age that happiness is meant to be this big, all consuming things. So that it is this moment that cracks us upon and sweeps all of the weight inside of us away, that it is something we are always in pursuit of until we find it. And so we are always waiting for happiness, this simplifying in life, this aha moment where the wounds are healed and the growth is organized neatly. So within our ribcage and our hearts are not affair and the warmth never leaves. But I don't think happiness is big or infinite at all. So I think real happiness exists in the acceptance of the fact that we will always be balancing what is light and dark within ourselves. So it exists in the quiet, in the small things, in a morning cup of coffee, in the sound of your mother's voice. I think real happiness is believing that you are meant to be here. So that you are meant to take up space. I think real happiness is finding the human beings who take care of you, not in a materialistic way, but rather finding those who take care of your soul, those who truly you. I think real happiness is all around you, at all times, spin and blooming in the things you stop paying attention to. because you were always searching for more flowers on your walk to work, the intensity in the air when you meet someone and you know they are going to change your life. So, the way your stomach flips when you hear your favorite song, or when you hold the person who fills you with the sunniest kind of hope. I don't think happiness is something you find or that it is this destination you get to where you are bulletproof and unaffected by the mayhem. The mayhem will always exist. We are born from it. We would not be here if it were not for the crashing of atoms within this universe. No, I think happiness exists in the understanding that the pain holds just as much importance as the beauty. So, happiness exists in finding things that make us feel known and special and at peace in this world, no matter how small they feel, and letting them save us. So, happiness exists in learning how to embrace the dark, in learning how to see it as the very thing that makes us appreciate the light. So, my child, know that when you begin the journey towards self love, one of the first things you must do is learn how to look back on your past with kindness. Restoring to shame, guilt, and cruelty do nothing but continue the cycle of harm. Stop judging yourself for accepting less than you deserve, for behaving in a ways that so you don't agree with today, and offer yourself some forgiveness. Go deeper past the guilt and shame and see how so much of your past choices had to do with a separate desire to be seen and heard and loved. Remember, knowing what you know today is a sign of growth. It means you have evolved and learned from the past, which is the whole point of the human experience after all. So, shame and guilt only lead to victimization and inaction. Inaction keeps you stuck in infinite spiral of self-loathing, which reflects in insidious ways onto your relationship and how you show up in the world. So, compassion and self forgiveness, however, lead to action, deliberate choices that you make to show up in healthier way throughout your life. Remember that real lasting change only comes from a foundation of love, not hatred. So, dear someone, know that giraffe is not something you would put on your hair, but I wear it anyway. I don't want to turn my head and acknowledge the presence of my dog's vacancy, nor the fruit basket on the table, or the warm bread with margarine that is cooling on its track. I have heard myself sign 10 times today. After a tremulous smile at the parlor, the pain resumed when I got home. So it holds are its hands to me, wanting an embrace, wanting to be full. I can't blame it for wanting a real body to wrap its arm around. So I don't want to go for groceries and get exactly what I wanted. I don't want to dust the house. I don't want to eat. I don't want to look around so much. I don't want to look at another beautiful thing lost in its place. I don't want to know why the window of my bedroom is not broken. So I don't want to know who took down the tree in my parents' backyard or hear my sister singing with my mother until their throats hurt. I don't sing in my head anymore. There is no point trying, but I have to live as usual, like everyone around me does so like most the times. Whatever is going on is usual, even this grief is usual now. Don't you think I hate feeling this way? I hate that my heart is so worn, but not enough to throw it out. I have that my body is so easily damaged. I am opening and shutting the drawers so much these days. Sometimes at night when I lie in bed, I can't remember what I am wearing and I would run my phone on and off, stare at the walls, the streets back, but they could not see, and I would ignore the knocks on my door. I am who I am now, sitting by the window, holding my dog's clothes in my lap, with a new burnt scar on my right ankle. It is supposed to guarantee and it would not dissolve right into another landscape. So I want to run. I used to run. I was a good runner. But today I'm just so heavy and this slowly. I can't think about my dead dog too much or what names would be having now in another